Hey guys, it's Delivering Chaos here, and today I will be doing another science video since everyone enjoyed the first one. So today, we'll be talking about terraforming. All of you people who know anything about planet Earth, you should know that our planet is dying, and if we do not take action now, then we'll need to find another world in order to keep the human race going. And to do this in our solar system, we will need a lot of things to happen, like sudden growth of vegetation, oxygen, and water on said planets like Venus, Mars. Then you have the moons on Jupiter or Saturn, Europa, I think, I don't know. But these planets, they will need, immediately surround us, they will need to have the capabilities that we have here, like water, like what I just said. So, in order to do that, we need terraforming in order to shape those planets to the most like Earth so that we can thrive on said planets. And this is how terraforming works. I know most of you are probably asking, why would we ever want to go to Mars? Well, Mars is as close to Earth as possible without it ever being too hot or too cold. And pictures being back from planetary probes and rovers since 1964 have shown Mars is a desolate, lifeless planet with seemingly lived off the humans. It has a very thin atmosphere and no signs of existing life. But Mars does hold some promise for the continuation of the human race. There are more than 6 billion people on Earth, and that number continues to grow unabated. This overcrowding or the possibility of planetary disaster will force us to eventually consider new homes in our solar system, and Mars may have more to offer us than the photos of its barren landscape now show. Recently, NASA probes have discovered hints to a warmer past on Mars, one in which water may have flowed and life might have existed. With fluvial evidence amounting that water may still exist in a frozen state on Mars, there are many who suggest that the human race could one day make Mars its second home. Such an effort to colonize Mars would begin with altering the current climate and atmosphere to more closely resemble that of Earth's. The process of transforming the Martian atmosphere to create a more habitable living environment is called terraforming. See, right there, the process of transforming the Martian atmosphere to create a more habitable living environment is called terraforming. So there's a little definition for people who write notes. But why Mars? Mars has long held a special fascination in the human imagination, as it's witnessed by the scores of books and movies that have been produced about the planet in the last century alone. Each story creates its own unique image of what might exist on the red planet. What is it? What is it about Mars that makes it the subject of so many tales? While Venus is often referred to as Earth's sister planet, the conditions that exist on that fiery planet are far too uninhabitable. I don't do one take. On the other hand, Mars is the next closest planet to us, and although it is a cold, dry planet today, it holds all of the elements that are needed for life to exist, including water, which may be frozen at the polar ice caps, carbon and oxygen in the form of carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. There are amazing similarities between the Martian atmosphere that exists today and the atmosphere that existed on Earth billions of years ago. When the Earth was first formed, no oxygen existed on our planet, and it too looked like a desolate, unlivable planet. The atmosphere is made entirely of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. It wasn't until photosynthetic bacteria known as archaea developed on Earth that enough oxygen was able to produce to allow for the development of animals. Similarly, the thin Mars atmosphere today is almost totally composed of carbon dioxide. Mars' atmosphere is composed of 95.3% carbon dioxide, 2.7% nitrogen, 1.6% argon, and 0.2% oxygen. In contrast, Earth's atmosphere consists of 78.1% nitrogen, 20.9% oxygen, 0.9% argon, 0.1% carbon dioxide, and other gases. As you can see by that breakdown, any humans visiting Mars today would have to carry with them huge amounts of oxygen and nitrogen in order to survive. However, the similarity to the early Earth and modern Mars atmosphere has led some scientists to speculate the same process that turned the Earth's atmosphere from mostly carbon dioxide into breathable air could be repeated on Mars. To do so would thicken the atmosphere and create a greenhouse effect that would heat the planet and to provide a suitable living environment for plants and animals. The average surface temperature on Mars is a frigid minus 81 degrees Fahrenheit. And for those people who don't live in America, that's negative 62.77 degrees Celsius. With extremes that range from 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 23.88 Celsius, to less than minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 73.33 Celsius. In comparison, Earth's average surface temperature is about 58 degrees Fahrenheit, 14.4 degrees Celsius. However, there are a few Martian features that are close enough to Earth to consider it for habitation, including a rotation rate of 24 hours 37 minutes. Earth has 23 hours and 56 minutes. An actual tilt of 24 degrees. Earth has 23.5 degrees. A gravitational pull 1/3 of Earth's, meaning you'll be like bouncy superheroes. And it is close enough to the sun to experience seasons. Mars is about 50% farther from the sun than Earth. Other worlds have been considered as possible candidates for terraforming, including Venus, Europa, and Titan. Yeah, like the moons I was talking about earlier, it was Europa and Titan. Europa was on Jupiter and Titan's on Saturn, so I kind of had it messed up. And the only problems with those planets is, however, is that Europa and Titan are too far from the sun, and Venus is too close. The average temperature on Venus is about 900 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 482.22 degrees Celsius. Mars stands alone as the one planet in our solar system, not including Earth, that might be able to support life. In the next section, you guys will learn how scientists plan to transform the dry, cold landscape of Mars into a warm, livable habitat. Terraforming Mars will be a huge undertaking, if it is ever done at all. In the initial stages of terraforming, oh my god, Mars can take several decades or centuries. Terraforming the entire planet into an Earth-like habitat will have to be done over several millennia. Some have even suggested that such a project will last thousands of millennia. So how are we supposed to transform a dry desert-like land into a lush environment where people, plants, and other animals can survive? Here are 3 terraforming methods that have been proposed, but I will cover the very first one, which has to do with large orbital mirrors that will reflect sunlight and heat the Mars surface. NASA is currently working on a solar sail propulsion system network that would use large reflective mirrors to harness the sun's radiation to propel spacecraft through space. Another use for these large mirrors would be to place them a couple 100,000 miles from Mars and use the mirrors to reflect the sun's radiation and heat of the Martian surface. Scientists have proposed building mylar mirrors that would have a diameter of 250 kilometers or 155.34 miles and cover an area larger than Lake Michigan. These gigantic mirrors would weigh about 200,000 tons, which means they would be far too large to launch from Earth. However, there is a possibility that mirrors could be constructed from material found in space, like space junk and whatnot. Remember that episode from Jimmy Neutron when Spaceman did whatever it was like the guy alien versus predator type people. If a mirror this size were to be directed at Mars, it could raise the surface temperature of a small area by a few degrees. The idea will be to concentrate the mirrors on the polar caps to melt the ice and release the carbon dioxide that are believed to be trapped inside the ice. Over a period of many years, the rise in temperature would release greenhouse gases such as chlorofluorocarbons, whatever, CFCs, whatever, which you can find in your air conditioner or refrigerator. As you can see, doing this would take forever, but it'd be really good in the long run. It'd help our children. I still don't think it's enough. But anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'm signing off. Stay classy, people.
Let's get it.